I am co-founder of Tone Labs. Tone Labs is a core developer of blockchain ecosystem platform called FreeTone. And I would like to start by expressing my full support to what Amelia is doing in promoting blockchain or electronic voting. So Amelia raised a concern that it is still not used enough, and I would like to start my speech from explaining my view on what's going on in blockchain space in general. So first of all, when I say blockchain, I refer to public blockchains, because when you talk about private blockchains, there are some, it's different, it's a whole different area. So there are, if you not refer to public blockchains, then you can, if you do not disclose data or if you limit participation, then you can probably have some other solutions how to build a system. So when I refer to public blockchains, if you take a look at the whole industry, we can see that it's a crazy mix of speculation, expectations, and really lack of real usage. So probably there are 100 million people who buy and sell crypto in centralized systems, and they have nothing to do with blockchain usage, real usage. So then probably there are low millions of people who control their crypto by their keys, and they do P2P transfers, but this is very simple case, and low digits in millions, it's again not a great usage. And if we look at DEPs, which stands for decentralized application, or any smart contract, or any business logic execution, then we have probably like 100,000 or 200,000 people in the world who even use it. So it's actually nothing compared to the capitalization of all cryptocurrencies. So that whole industry relies on expectation. By the way, moreover, those 100 to 100,000, they mostly use things called DeFi, which is not usage, not. It's again, it's financial. It's not how to say, not real usage from my perspective. So why is that? And the reason for that is very obvious. Still, public blockchains are not capable to process, to serve hundreds of millions of people with some business logic in a decentralized way. So FreeTone, I can say it for sure, is now the only platform which is scalable, which has instant finality. So it means that it can be really used in from practical means, compared to things where, say, that they have high throughput but like no finality. So it means you can be sure that in a couple of seconds maximum, the result of some program execution will not be reverted later on, and secure enough. Secure means it is decentralized. So decentralized, so that means that nobody will be able to affect the result. And this is also important statements. So all those three are important: instant finality, throughput, and security or decentralization, because people now try to do scaling through some layer 2 systems, which are actually it is centralization. It's not a real solution. So what we did in FreeTone, we did a platform which first in the history, I mean, again, from combined all the three stuff, and we have a vision to. So we strongly believe that the real usage of blockchain will start on our platform. So, for example, we cooperate with GBA in that discussions over usage of blockchain for voting. We did contest for crowdsource of ideas how decentralized audit of elections can be done for Guatemala. Now we launched an implementation contest, which should end in a month. Due to very unique properties of Friton, we believe that millions and tens of millions of people can simultaneously participate in such a solution. Also, we crowdsourced an opposite works to that MIT statement that blockchain voting is not secure, and it resulted in some joint document. And we plan to have an implementation contest very soon. The reason why we didn't launch it is that, just to remind, we use public blockchain, so it means that all data is available for everyone. And in order to make votes anonymous, you should need to use some mathematical stuff called the zero knowledge proofs. And we already have that tooling, that primitives in our in testnet in Friton. Now there are some contest for which aims to debug and bring some showcases. And once it will be finished, like again in a less than a month, we plan to merge those primitives into mainnet, and we plan to launch an implementation for voting, which can be used for instantly out of the box by hundreds of millions of people based on public blockchain. And it would have all properties which were described as a criteria in that MIT paper, which Amelia also mentioned today. So we think that in a couple of months, probably 2 or 3, we will have that system which will be available out of the box, and it will be available for all people having. So we have vision that voters can have special devices, which are, by the way, very cheap and very spread now, which have secure element, secure chip in it. We have for convenience and for security in Friton thing called security card. It has Infineon top-tier secure chip in it. It signs transactions without any possibility to take out private key out of it. So
hey, Pavel, can I jump in just for 1 second? Because I want to share with folks some of the things that I think are just great opportunities in terms of working with a Friton community. Because you guys have really brought a very powerful capability to the network. And if you don't mind, can I just ask you to talk about just 1 or 2 things? One is your model, right? So for example, if folks anywhere in the GBA community want essentially to participate in the development or even suggest, recommend a project, you guys have just an incredible engagement model that they can make proposals, that they can the rewards can be generated. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes,
And then
yes.
also I want to.
I will say about it. So I will quickly finish my this techie part. I'll try to do it quite simple. So what is important that such chips are available now in all devices. So there should be a standard. That every smartphone will have a secure element inside it in a separate as a separate hardware. So it means that all voters very soon will have these devices, and will cost nothing for government, for community to have it. So my point is that when you build a system, you can rely on that infrastructure, and it should not take too much time and efforts to. Of course, you'll have to register all your voters in a way in some voting centers, but the idea is that once you're done, you can have voting fully done in blockchain, not just putting hashes on blockchain, but the whole logic should be on chain. And by the way, why this cryptographic approach is important, that when you have, say, private blockchain, where your votes not hidden by cryptography, then you can, as government, can have access how and every person voted, and this is, I mean, bad thing by its definition. So my view in that respect, there's no difference. So you should make an implementation where votes cryptographically protected. That's very important. And also when you have the whole process of ballot submission on chain, then you have that exactly problem which all blockchains have, that if you have hundreds of people and like you have 1 million simultaneous messages coming to your system, then if you imagine, if you have single chain blockchain or some bulk smart contract, it will stuck forever. So that's why our multi-threaded sharded blockchain Freeton is the only architecture which can process such amounts without increasing of latency. So sorry for being a bit techy. I'm just saying that in order to implement such a system, you need to engineer the system in a way which allow all that to happen. And when you try to look at alternatives, you understand that it's not really much alternatives you have. So my statement is that we will have a working system which can be working fully public, fully transparent, meeting all criteria which I merely mentioned in a couple of months, and we will present it for you to and you then, I mean, and it will be fully open source. Moreover, it will be formally verified, because what we do with our smart contracts in Freeton, we formally verify everything what is important, which means mathematical proof that program is correct. Okay, that's it for technicalities. So then, coming to what you asked about our approach, Freeton never did any ICO, never did any token sale. So we distribute tokens through the process which is called meritocratic token distribution. So it means that everybody can come, propose some contest, participate in the contest, and winners of the contest get tokens. Moreover, since we deeply, and I think we're the only blockchain ecosystem which invest a lot efforts into fully community governance, because other guys, they simply do like, okay, we have foundation, foundation in Switzerland, and it do something which is good for everyone. But foundation is not on chain governance. It's and they are, to be honest, they are centralized in what they do. They can claim that it's public good, but they are centralized. So what we do certified governance using sub-governances, which get, again, tokens from the whole community, and they can follow their own agenda. And all those people, including sub-governance members, juries, they all come out of the street. So people who proposed contest. So in that respect, we have now 25, I guess, sub-governances at the moment. So in that respect, every GBA member can come and say that, guys, here I would like to solve such problem, and we can create a contest out of it for that problem solution. If that is a complex problem, or we can create a sub-governance which will set up a series of contests for solving that problem. For example, once we will finish that contest for implementation of voting system, we probably will think about getting people together and creating something like we have decentralized governance organizations, sub-governance, which actually aims at governance smart contracts, but it aims more for management of development technologies.
Pavel, I just want to throw my 2 cents in. The Freetown community has developed an incredible community of literally thousands of people all over the world, right? Developers and we don't have time to kind of get into a lot of detail here, but the beauty of these guys, and Pavel, I apologize. I owe you some information so we can get that gateway built, so we can connect the GBBP and our token with your network. But if anybody has would like to see any development done or like to participate, they have a very open process. It essentially is a DAO in terms of people make proposals, people vote on it. Tokens are distributed based on those votes. Those tokens have real value that are on exchange, and are very significant value. So I can't really say enough about the Freeton community. Pavel, if somebody wants to connect with your community, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, the quickest and the easiest way is to communicate with me or Evgeny. Technically, you can go onto website, freeton.org. Since, again, it's community, it's not like when you get a couple of hundreds of millions of dollars and hire all PR and firms. So it's a bit mess because we have hundreds of groups around with those people. So in order to navigate, you need some support. We try now to reform that website into a catalog of all resources, of all groups, of all projects inside Freeton. So it will be a bit easier in a couple of weeks when it will be done. So everybody who has some project or website in Freeton can have a card on that catalog. So we're not present on Freeton.org to explain about the ecosystem. It's just a way how to find people and projects inside the ecosystem. So at the moment you can go.
What's your email address if people want to connect with you?
Yeah, no problem. So p.prigolvko@tonlabs.io. That's my email address. Or you can ping me in Telegram with Nick as my surname, Prigolovko.
And I'd like to really encourage people here, if one of you all would like to learn Ton, an excellent project that you can propose and be paid for is we would love to have a GBBP gateway created to Ton. And that should be a fairly simple project, get you up to speed on Ton, get you a name on Ton and everything else.
Yeah,
we can make a contest for that. So we can have a contest for that integration. We have bridge now with Ethereum, with Polka, I think, yes, and some other chains, and they all done through contest by different teams. So we can do the same for GBBP.